Alright, so we're coming back for another match in our top 8. It is Anthony and Tom. Now, if you've noticed that the life counter has changed, that's because I was informed that Anthony's playing Infect. So, uh, he's made it top 4 with Infect. So it's a proof that he's good, proof that the deck's fast. Let's see if he's faster than you are, Delver. What do you think, Dan?
Um, I think he has the speed to do it.
I'm just worried about the amount of bolts.
Bolts is a concern. However, Legacy Infect has a lot more tools to kind of get around things like that than, say, Modern Infect does.
Yeah, he has, simple enough, he has the ability of having force wills.
Yep.
Like, there's 4 counter spells right there that solves most of your problems.
And, like, Infect typically will use their counter spells very defensively, make sure, essentially to protect their creatures, especially in a matchup like this where he knows that he's going to be going up against a lot of removal effects, a lot of things that are going to kill his...
Ooh, he went down to 6. You used to play Infect in Modern, didn't you?
I did play Infect in Modern. So I have a little bit of insight about what goes on in the Infect player's mind. It's all about protecting, getting a creature on board and protecting it.
That's pretty fast.
Only turn 1 Glistener Elf. I think that's promo Glistener Elf, isn't it?
Yep. Same ones that you used to have.
Are they actually my promo Glistener Elves?
No.
My old ones?
No. I had to actually stop and think about that. They are not. I don't think, at least. It would actually be pretty funny if this was the deck that we traded off. But turn 1's pretty fast.
Looks like Tom is fetching.
Go find his vault.
He opens up with a Monastery Swift Spear.
See, now that's also a reasonable creature to trade in.
Yeah.
It doesn't die, and at least he gets bigger. Do not poison yourself, Anthony. New rules, if you play Infect every time you fetch, you take a poison counter instead.
That still would not be a problem for Infect. So Infect is notorious for being able to get really fast kills, including turn 2, turn 3. See, I haven't seen Anthony's hand.
Neither have I.
So I don't know whether he's capable of doing that, but it's always a possibility. And when you're looking out for that,
Scary.
it's very scary. Tom, I would imagine, is saving all of his bolts and stuff for the Infect creatures.
I would.
Looks like he green sunned for a
Which is fine.
Noble Hierarch. So he's not going for the super fast kill. But
Well, he knows he's against Power Slot deck. He has to slowly poke his way in. And that's still 2 points.
yeah.
It also lets him trade with the Swift Spear right there.
Yep.
Which I think is the more important section of that. See, this is where Tom just needs those surprise pyroclasms in the sideboard.
I wouldn't put it past him to be running Pyroclasms.
All his creatures survive,
Yeah.
except Pelvas.
Looks like a Flooded Strand. And a second Swift Spear.
Let's see, he's just just goes probe, 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 swing. Live that dream, right?
That's a little bit too magical Christmas land for me, Gray.
I play a lot of Vintage. It happens.
You play Storm in Vintage.
I do play Storm.
That's the only time you're ever gonna see like probe, 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 probe. I think I said too many probes there. Well, now it's way too many probes considering probe just got restricted.
It's fine. It left me room to try out Voltaic and other cool things.
Brainstorm for the Infect player.
Thank you, Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog here says that Brainstorm is a good card.
And I will pull down off of YouTube because we sound too much like Kermit the Frog. Please don't see India.
Second.
Listen, Elf is getting really swole.
That Glistener Elf is getting pretty big and pretty scary. You think that was the right block? I don't know what his hand is, so I can't necessarily tell.
He has the block.
Because that would put him at 5 infect, right?
Yeah. Which puts him at 8 next.
I guess that puts him at lethal if he's got some sort of pump.
It puts him at 8, and it's too much. Cost is too high there.
Did you see what he fetched?
Probably another Volk.
Oh yeah, he's blue-red. The only thing he's fetching is Volks.
Or basic lands. And he's not going to win off of Price of Progress this year. Let's be honest between us.
Well, Infect does run really greedy land base.
Mostly fetches, though.
True.
And like Pendelhaven, at a Dryad Offer. It was an island, apparently. Storm Chaser.
It is a Storm Chaser mage. You called it correctly, sir. So now that Tom has some sort of presence on the board that Anthony is going to have some difficult time dealing with. Assuming that he gets some sort of... What do you think about him attacking there?
He's still got the Storm Chaser mage.
Yeah, but he needs a blocker would be good.
Yeah, the Storm Chaser mage.
The Storm Chaser mage is probably better as an attacker.
As a blocker, because it flies. And it's got 3 toughness. So if you can manage to take out a single Noble Hierarch for Exalted triggers, it leaves him with a better... Yeah, before... It leaves him with a slightly better creature, just because of that 3 toughness on that body. Because his creature's mostly just damage control at the moment.
Yeah. He's got to find some sort of gas to sort of stabilize past this, or else he's gonna find himself on a very, very bad
He's already on a pretty bad ship. Forcibly daze your brainstorm prowess. And that exact sentence right there is the reason why I'm not allowed to play blue magic. Yeah, this is mostly just live my life as damage control. Hope to draw a Pyromancer off the top. Because Pyromancer will just let him pop out blockers for days.
Yeah. Is that a Shockman?
No. Honda.
Oh. That was
fish. You do need
Is that what we're calling ourselves now? Gray and Dan Productions?
Gradient of Dan Gray. Along with the lapel mics.
Get probe.
There's an elf invigorate days force. See, it was correct blocking there.
Yeah.
It is a shame we traded away literally all of elves.
In fact,
Because we're what, short 2 chops at the time?
drops, berserks.
Those looks are cheap.
They weren't at the time.
Fair. The deck is fast, the deck is not super resilient, and if you run into another creature strategy, you actually have a bad time.
Infect is decently Legacy Infect's a lot more resilient than Modern Infect, at least in my
My
opinion.
constant issue with Thalia. Thalia says you're gonna have, if you pizza when you're supposed to French fry, you're gonna have a bad time.
And you were the one about us being worried taken off YouTube for copyrighted content.
Chain Lightning feels pretty good.
Force pitching days. Seems like some sort of sleeve issue.
Yeah. What would you do? Yeah.
If I were Anthony?
Yeah. Well, no, if you were Tom, because you just saw the counterspell.
Well,
Do you fight it and take out the snow?
I would. I mean, well, maybe not. He's got a, you know he has another Glistener Elf. So that buys you a turn.
And if you go for another counterspell, he can also
Invigorate.
Yeah. Because Invigorate's +4, right?
We're looking up Invigorate right now.
Yeah. Because there's like 4 of those cards. Yeah, it's the one that's +4. So if another counterspell comes up, you just pump it and you're fine.
Yeah. But it would be worth it just to get rid of that pump. Because you have to remember.
You don't pump it, you just go, second
Yeah.
Glistener.
Oh, yeah. If I were Anthony and he did decide to fight that, I would let the Glistener Elf die and play the second one.
That ton of tempo might be worth it. Because all of these power things. We've just been talking through this entire brainstorm, I realized.
Yeah.
On was it worth stopping the was it worth fighting back on that force?
I don't think it is.
I don't know, Tom just feels like he's on damage control.
Yeah. And that's, when you're playing against Infect, you always feel like you're on damage control. That's what the deck is designed to do. It warps your ability to play your own game because you have to be be able to account for its ability to kill you just out of nowhere. And I think Tom is definitely feeling the heat now.
Do I? Do I? Like, do I turn this sideways?
I mean, he knows he has the invigorate, so he knows that he shouldn't swing.
Yeah, because he probably just gonna get punched backwards for it doing it.
Yeah. There's a Delver. I don't know if there's much that Delver is going to be able to do, though, right now.
It blocks.
It blocks.
The big deal is that he is literally at dead if he goes by unblocked again. Because he's at 5 infect.
Mm-hmm.
And he just pumps it. I mean, he's naturally at 3.
So if you're Tom, he's going to go for the double block. What do you think of the double block?
I'm okay with it. Oh, bummer.
That's not good for Tom.
Remember, foil vines protect against foil corns. And pretty much everything else. That hurt Tom a lot.
It did hurt Tom a lot. That's why I was surprised he double blocked.
He didn't even need to double block.
He didn't.
The sad part is that he miscounted twice there. He didn't account for the vines, and he was at 3-3. Would have become a 7-7. Bolting it would have dealt 3. Prowess plus the Delver would have only dealt 3 more, leaving him with as a 7-1 at the end of combat. So even his plan there did not work.
I feel like this.
Right. I guess this is okay.
What a top deck.
Oh, Noble, why are you almost the worst paradise?
Yep. And that saves it.
Well, it buys him a couple of turns.
And the Glistener Elf dies from the bolt. I still feel that Tom is struggling here.
Well, he's run out of gas, he's run out of creatures.
And he knows that there's
There's 2 infect creatures now.
2 infect creatures now. Let's see what Tom has.
Junk, as we've seen.
And he scoops it up.
Well, there goes game 1.
So, what would be going through your mind if you are Tom right now?
Do I have more removal? Am I actually playing like modern prowess and I have pyroclasms and stuff? Maybe? That's the primary thought that would be running through my head. What do you even do here?
If you're Anthony right now, you're probably feeling pretty good.
He's faster if he has enough stuff, if he's got enough cards to easily keep him alive.
Yeah. Tom is at a major disadvantage here in that he's not playing a normal Delver deck. He doesn't have a lot of the tools that
Answer this.
that would answer it. He doesn't have big threats like a Gurmag Angler. He doesn't have unanswerable threats like a Nimble Mongoose.
Oh, Nimble Mongoose is not even that great right now.
But he doesn't even have it. His creatures are all small, so they get trampled over easily.
Yeah, and there's always the possibility that like there's a turn 2, turn 3 windmill double berserk to invigorate the Vilza state.
Yeah, and he has to protect against that. I mean, it's just not built to deal with something like this. Tom is expecting to be the aggressor in a match like this, or not in any match. In a given match, Tom wants to be the aggressor. This is a much more aggressive form of Delver. It's not so much tempo as it's almost aggro.
Yeah, it doesn't work out for him. I mean, if I was Tom, I would love more board wipes and more creature options. Because that's not something that his deck would expect to need.
Yeah, again, he's not used to seeing a deck that is this fast, is this angry.
And that's
He's used to being the aggressor. And his deck does not deal well with being on the defense. Because prowess is inherently an aggressive mechanic.
It requires you to be swinging and beating for the face. And there's not much else that you really can do in that option. Is you have to hit the face as hard and as fast as possible. And Tom going down a card doesn't help. say it, but I just have to give Anthony the odds here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're playing two inherently aggressive decks, but one only requires one creature to connect here and there to kill you. And one of them is uncounterable, because you just play the manland.
Mm-hmm. Well, being on the play is a huge advantage for Tom here, because he gets one free turn of just doing what he
Gets a
wants.
free damage, yeah.
And in a match like this, every turn counts.
I always thought that mechanic was goofy.
Hmm.
That if you have haste, you just swing out before your opponent has a turn. I understand it.
See, Tom is coming out roaring and swinging. You think we see a brainstorm coming?
Days.
A daze.
Which is probably just better.
Yeah.
Because that has to either eat a days or force the will. And it's not going to. You have to be unbelievably bad at Magic to do that. I think Anthony's fine playing with -1 infect. Trying to figure out where that extra point of damage came from.
Yeah.
The entire thing I was talking about. It's so weird that haste lets you swing before your opponent gets to do stuff. I understand it. It's just weird to me. Oh man.
If Tom can keep this pressure up, he does have a very good chance.
You should be able to clear house before a real problem.
I mean, the fact that he doesn't have to deal with the turn 1 Glistener Elf is big. It allows him some time and some breathing room to kind of establish a rhythm, a groove.
Oh, so submerge?
I like that.
I want to say the card that's completely cleared out is submerge. I really do enjoy that. Yay, Grim Morphomancer! So I'm pretty sure this game's going to go to Tom, because he's got 3 pieces of removal in his hand.
It's possible.
No idea what card that is.
I'm not quite sure.
That did not help at all. If you would like to
I'm
go
gonna
figure
go
that.
figure out what it is real quick.
Chill. No, you need to chill, Dan. Crit spells cost 2 more to cast.
That is spicy, man.
That's 3 mana bolt. That's a point for damage. That's as bad as what is it? Geist Flame.
Yep.
But at least Geist Flame had flashback. I don't think there's any chill in playing that.
I don't think that's gonna slow him down much, though.
No. Because he's dead next turn. He goes to 1 next turn. But there's always the possibility that the Ink Moth Nexus just kills him right here. But I'm hoping. You bolt here? I'm like, is this a bolt? I guess this is a bolt. No? It's another... This is a really hard question.
What Tom does here?
Yeah. So I'm a brave person. I would probably put him to 1 and then see if I lose. Because that's 2 invigorates.
I think he's trying to see if he can win this turn.
Chill.
And he just passed his turn. He's entering dangerous territory here.
It's kill or be killed. Now, Anthony needs to kill him here.
Yes.
This isn't a, I would like to, this is, I need to kill you here. I don't think he has it.
We'll see. So that's 2 on board right now.
Yep.
Let's see what he does.
So resolve the trigger. Just shoots it with the Grim Lava Man, so yeah.
That's 6. That's 6, right?
What?
Hmm?
Yeah, that puts him to 6. Don't overthink this, Tom. Don't overthink this, Tom. Stop overthinking this, Tom.
I don't know, man.
Tom's tired. It's been a long day.
I'm tired. It's been a long day.
I've just been sitting here streaming and I'm fatigued. Just punch him, Tom.
last card in Anthony's hand is a Spell Pierce, right?
Hmm?
The last card in Anthony's hand is a Spell Pierce?
Correct.
It doesn't even matter, he's tapped out.
2 cards left in hand.
2 cards left in hand?
Yeah, it's a Spell Pierce and Jank. Something that doesn't matter. Come on, Tom. In the words of your son, Tom. The reason you lose is not because you couldn't pay for something, it's because you couldn't count. Just tap, bolt, punch, and for lethal. Tap, bolt, What are the odds of this being a crap rotation? A Elvis Beard Guide crap rotation into a Droid all over the block?
0. This has got to be torture. He only swung with the
Oh, Tom.
Mentor. Anthony's got nothing. Except for now, Tom has lost his window of opportunity.
Oh, Tom. He's fine. Still kills him. Lava Mancer.
Oh, he's got the Lava Mancer in the bowl, right?
Yeah.
That bolt is in his hand, correct?
Yeah. No, he doesn't, because it's still a Spell Pierce. It's still a Spell Pierce.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He lost his window of opportunity close.
Yeah. He choked. Even a submerge will get him out here. Yeah, literally a submerge will still get him out. Oh, Tom. Tom saw it too.
Did he?
Just look over his face and he went from this look of, this is bad, to, and back. That's the real truth of this game. Is that you don't lose because you're bad at the game, you lose because you can't count.
Yeah, I've lost many games because I couldn't count properly.
I've lost far too many games because I'm 1 or 2 points off in my math. And I'm like, I can't do it this turn, I'll do it next. And there's no next turn. Oh, Tom.
Oh, stop.
Stop. I was so excited. Like, he got there. Has it? It's like watching your favorite sports team playing, and they fumble at the 1-yard line. And you're like, no, we were there.
And Anthony just told Tom that he was able to kill him a long time ago too.
And Tom's like, yeah, I know.
He knew. Well, Anthony takes that 2-0.
Chill and submerge.
Chill and submerge. And there goes a die.
Oh, hey, look, Anthony got those fluster storms off of David, the man who whiteboarded his power. Oof.
Well, we've got one more match to go. It'll be Anthony versus,
I don't have my glasses, I
want
cannot
to say
see.
Ben.
Is that Ben Chamberlain?
I believe so.
Alright. Well,
So this is Dan signing off until next round.
this is Gray signing off, and remember,